Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce today's session moderator, Dr. Rashmi Dua. Dr. Rashmi Dua, an accomplished PhD holder in forensic accounting, along with postgraduate degrees in English and Commerce, is currently enriching lives at Banastali Public School, located in Vikaspuri, New Delhi. She is renowned for introducing groundbreaking programs and fostering strong community engagement, making her a key contributor to the school's vision of holistic education. Dr. Dua's professional expertise includes designing innovative and customized curricula that address diverse learning needs. Her training sessions are not only engaging but also tailored to build skills and inspire lifelong learning. She develops comprehensive assessment tools that are instrumental in accurately measuring student progress and enhancing educational outcomes. With exceptional conflict resolution skills, Dr. Dua ensures a collaborative and positive atmosphere among faculty, staff, and students. Her mentorship guides individuals towards both academic and personal growth, instilling confidence and self-awareness. Furthermore, her unwavering commitment to promoting cultural sensitivity celebrates the beauty of diversity, ensuring inclusivity in all aspects of education. Dr. Dua's efforts extend beyond the classroom, as she actively participates in initiatives that bridge the gap between academia and community. Through these initiatives, she empowers students and parents alike, building strong connections and reinforcing the importance of education in personal and societal development. Hearty welcome, Dr. Rashmi. Please proceed. The stage is yours.
Good evening, esteemed educators and participants. I'm Rashmi Dua, an educator by passion and a lifelong learner by spirit. It is my honor to serve you as the moderator for today's important session on the preparation of holistic report card. In the words of John Dewey, education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. And today's discussion truly resonates with this statement. On behalf of Extra Mile Education and Training, I welcome all educators and participants who are committed to building a future-ready generation. Extra Mile stands as a beacon of quality professional development, founded under the visionary leadership of Dr. Abdul Salam as part of the PARAKH Transformers and Academic Group, BTAG. With its unparalleled pool of resource persons, Extra Mile excels in delivering customized online as well as offline trainings across India. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Dr. Abdul Salam and Extra Mile Education and Training for providing me with this wonderful opportunity to be the moderator of today's session. Dear participants, before we proceed, I would like to go over a few important points for a smooth and interactive experience. Please note, if you have any queries during the session, you may post them in the chat box. We'll be definitely attending to them. For an interactive experience, you are encouraged to clear your doubts by asking questions. Please use the virtual hand raise button and wait for your name to be called before speaking. Dear participants, all of us, when we are attending the trainings, we are keen on getting the certificates also in our kitty. So regarding certificates, please visit the website www.b-tag.in. And if it's your first time, please sign up. The portal is a very user-friendly portal, and you will receive your certificate by your registered WhatsApp number. That was all about your participation, which will be smooth and interactive. Now coming up, I cannot moving ahead without talking about the visionaries. So before we move to the technical learning of the day, I would like to introduce the key members of the BTAG team. Starting with Dr. Abdul Salam. Dear participants, we are honored to have Dr. Abdul Salam with us, the visionary founder and and CEO of Bharat Transformers and Academic Group, and of course, Extra Mile Education and Training. Dr. Salam is also a distinguished CBSE resource person and master trainer with a wealth of contributions to the education sector. As an assessor for the National Accreditation Board for Education and Training under the Government of India, Dr. Salam brings a wealth of knowledge and experience. On behalf of all the participants, I warmly welcome Dr. Salam. I request you, sir, to address the audience.
Thank you, Dr. Rashmi, respected resource person, Ranjit sir, Biju sir, and all participants, those who have joined, hearty welcome to Extra Mile Education and Training. Sorry, my camera is not working because the system has to be updated. Well, the topic offered by Ranjit sir is the need of the hour, and everybody is looking for guidelines and help in preparing the 360-degree holistic development, achievement and progress of students. We are here because NEP mandates it. We should have a 360-degree performance appraisal of students, and Mr. Ranjit will guide you through the preparatory and the foundational stages of the HPC, Holistic Progress Card, because CBSE has issued only these two documents, though PARAKH has given guidelines for making HPC for all the grades, maybe up to 8. So thank you so much, Ranjit sir. Your guidelines will definitely help everybody. Let's listen to him and take away lots of ideas. Let us make it an interactive session. You can ask questions, you can ask doubts, because you may have a lot of doubts. Unless and until you clear it, then this session is not going to be useful to you. So please take care, sit back and enjoy the session. Meanwhile, note your points, doubts and concerns. We will be able to answer them. So all the very best, Mr. Ranjit Rajan, Dr. Rashmi. Dr. Rashmi, it was a good beginning. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you for the beautiful reminder to the participants to be interactive. Sir, your encouraging vision is what has kept us moving towards excellence. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Biju S. Pillai. Pillai, sir, has an extensive background in education, serving as the principal of several reputed CBSE schools. Sir is also the co-director of Extra Mile Education and Training. Sir, we are truly honored to have you here with us. I request you, sir, to please share your thoughts with us.
Thank you, Rashmi ma'am. Good evening to all. Most respected Director Dr. Abdul Salam sir, today's resource person Ranjit sir, and all other educators who have joined the platform. As we have already discussed this topic earlier also, holistic progress card. But as per the new scenario, holistic progress card is also a 360-degree assessment tool that when comparing with the traditional progress card report preparing, it is entirely different, focusing on the students' holistic development across various domains like self-assessment, then peer group assessment, and the teachers' evaluation, depending on the cognitive, psychomotor, and socioeconomic skills. So keeping all this in view, we have to prepare the holistic progress card in a well-designed way so that in the DigiLocker also, when the child sees not only the academic, also the co-curricular activities, his day-to-day progress, everything can be monitored, and it will be a well-designed project. So keeping all this in view, we can listen more elaborately from our resource person, Ranjit sir, so that you will gain very good knowledge, as it is going to be a beginning for the new academic year 2025-26. So thank you all. I remain. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you again for the initiative, thinking about the schools and the support they need. Dear participants, now is the time to introduce the man who's going to prepare you for that, for the holistic report card. So it's my honor to welcome the distinguished resource person, Ranjit sir, an accomplished academician and transformation leader. Sir is currently the principal of Sri Saraswati Vidya Mandir, Karikode, Kottayam. Sir holds an illustrious profile. It includes CBSE training coordinator at Kottayam, CBSE resource person across multiple domains. Sir had been deputy coordinator for Bharatiya Vidya Niketan CBSE wing, city coordinator for KVS, NVS, and CTET. Sir had been the patron of Central Sahodaya Conclave, General Secretary of APCOS Kottayam, coordinator of District Level Examination Recommendation Committee, former principal and vice principal at prestigious institutions. Sir has been the member of the CBSE Inspection Committee and Review Committee, observer and superintendent for CBSE, NEET, and CUET examinations, coordinator for National Achievement Survey in the year 2022. Sir was the flying squad member for CBSE and NIOS examinations. Dear participants, his vast experience as an educator, administrator, trainer, and mentor has been instrumental in shaping progressive learning ecosystems. Today, we are indeed fortunate to have him guide us through the vital elements of holistic report card preparation aligned to the National Education Policy 2021. Let us now immerse ourselves in today's learning journey. I now invite Ranjit sir to enlighten us with his insights and expertise. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So happy to connect again here in Extra Mile platform. Thank you, Abdul Salam sir. Thank you, Biju sir, and today's moderator, Dr. Rashmi Dua. Thank you all. It's wonderful educators from the Pan India and from world around. So always connect with the Extra Mile from the land of latex and the land of letters here in Kottayam. It's my privilege. It's my happy to be with us. You can feel to ask your doubts at the end of the session. And before starting, today I observed that many active participants. It's different from the previous sessions, and the Zoom session is completely full also. It's great. Here in Kerala, it's summer holidays. Many Kerala schools also joined. I don't know, in Pan India, it's working day during the month of May and April. Here in Kerala, it's holiday for us. But the educators all over are connecting through Extra Mile. It's happy. Salam sir, I think you make me as a co-host. Shall I try to share my screen?
Yes, of course. Please proceed.
Great. Yeah, before sharing my screen, I saw almost 70 more participants active through chat box. Can you say that what you mean by PARAKH? Those who are good in chat, please respond immediately. What do you mean by PARAKH? I'm waiting for your response. Can you, the educators, please speed up. Salam sir, my screen is visible or not?
Yeah, your screen is visible. No, your camera is visible.
No, screen is not.
Yeah.
Screen is not. Okay, fine. Okay.
We have started responding. Some of them are saying it is something related to assessment. It's a
great.
assessment, performance assessment, then quality assessment of the schools.
Okay.
So this is a pilot project. This year, somebody says.
Okay.
And it's NEP 2020 initiative.
Okay.
Some are saying it's to give importance to public and private school assessment.
Okay.
Okay, there is Madam Kavita who says it means overall assessment. Then there's Alpna ma'am who says performance assessment. Saurabh sir says it's a scheme of assessment started by government to check uniformity of assessment.
Miss Sarema Devi has written correctly. Performance assessment, review, and analysis of knowledge for holistic
Yes,
development.
yes. Vanita ji also has written the same thing.
Okay, great. Great. Okay, fine. Sir, as usual, hope my screen is not visible now.
As usual, it is not.
Okay, fine. I'm trying to share my screen. And that's what happens. Can you, meanwhile, can you suggest? Okay,
It's
now
coming up, sir.
sharing
It's
this.
coming up.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, your desktop is visible now. You
Okay,
can
sir.
open the file.
Fine. Can you please suggest what you mean by HPC also? The full form of HPC? I think now my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I started the question, what is PARAKH? And now I started the question, what is HPC? Dr. Rashmi, ma'am, can you say a few response? What do you mean by HPC?
Yes, sir. So it says holistic progress card, 360-degree assessment. Holistic
Okay.
report card, most of the participants are saying, sir.
Okay, fine. So we can start our session. What is PARAKH? As Salma ma'am and some dear educators already said correctly, performance assessment, review and analysis of knowledge for holistic development. That's named as PARAKH. PARAKH always deal with large-scale assessments, establishing assessment standards, capacity building for assessment, evaluation and research, and equivalence for boards. As we know that we have multiple boards, states board and central for different central boards. So PARAKH is dealing with large-scale assessment, establishing assessment standards, capacity building for assessment, evaluation and research, equivalence of boards. When we are talking about the key highlights of NEP 2020, as we know that first one is structural change for the school education, 5+3+3+4 stage design. And NEP 2020 always deals with the early childhood care and education. Earlier is early childhood education only. That care, early childhood care and education is added extra. Then again, NEP 2020 deals with foundation literacy and numeracy. Apart from all these, NEP 2020 suggested curricular aims, emphasis of conceptual understanding rather than rote learning, multidisciplinary, holistic and integrated education, reduced curriculum content, flexibility and choice of content in the secondary stage. As we already know, these highlights, especially reduced curriculum content, the NCERT is already issued reduced content textbook last 2 years. So latest books are available. And we all know that flexibility and choice of content in the secondary stage, CBSE is offering multiple options for the different kind of students. So National Curriculum Framework, NCF-FS and NCF-SC. National Curriculum Framework, NCF-FS and NCF-SC deals with aims of education, curricular goals, competencies, and learning outcomes. Highlighting these points, when we are talking about the assessment, when we are talking about the holistic progress curve, when we are talking about the paradigm shift for the school education, dear educators, keep these points in your mind. One is NEP 2020 and the NCF-FS and NCF-SC deals and aims of education clearly. And it's already, we know that what do you mean by aims of education. Secondly, all these policy documents highlighted curricular goals, competencies and learning outcomes. What does NCF says about aims of school education? Aims are educational vision statements that give broad direction to all deliberate efforts of educational system. And curricular goals are statements that give direction to the curriculum, development and implementation. They are derived from aims and are specific to a stage in education. Curricular goals are specific in stage in education. The stage means 5 plus, 3 plus, 3 plus 4. Here the stage is refers to our 5 plus, 3 plus, 3 plus 4. So when we are talking about the curricular goals, the achieving curricular goals is stage wise. Hope you understand. Achieving competencies is stage wise, but achieving learning outcome is yearly. That is the difference. So when we are talking about learning outcomes, competencies are attained over a period of time. Therefore, interim markers of learning achievements are needed to so that teachers can observe and track learning and response to the needs of learners continually. That word is very much important. The teaching learning process, the observation, always continuous. These interim markers are learning outcomes. Competencies are learning achievements that are observable and can be assessed systematically. These competencies are derived from the curricular goals and expected to be attained by end of a stage. That I already discussed. Curricular goals and competencies are stage-wise, learning outcome is yearly. And where we get these curricular goals or where we get the competencies. So the teachers, the school can mark individually, there is no issue, but you can refer NCF-FS, NCF-SE for curricular goals and competencies. It's all already given there. The competencies you can refer Bloom's taxonomy. When we are very much aware of all the teachers are very much confident about the Bloom's taxonomy. From the Bloom's taxonomy point, competencies can outcome, competency can be mapped. The curricular goals can be mapped from the NCF-FS and NCF-SE. The learning outcome document already published by the NCERT and CBSE also. So from the teachers, when we are talking about all key principles or key terms, curricular goals, competencies, learning outcomes. So we have a clear area where we'll find out all these things. Curricular goals were NCF-FS, NCF-SE, and competencies from the Bloom's taxonomy, and the learning outcomes from NCERT published learning outcome document, or CBSE also published learning outcome document. So, what is the aim of education? We always know that rational thought and autonomy is the aim of education. It's clearly marked and clearly highlighted the NEP 2020 and NCF-FS and NCF-SC. Rational thought and autonomy. So, here I have taken an exemplar of a curricular goal. Children develop effective communication skills for day-to-day interaction in 2 languages. That is the CGB chosen for an example. So what is the competency for this particular CG? Children develop effective communication skills for day-to-day interaction in 2 languages. What is the competency? Converses fluently and hold a meaningful conversation. That is the competency marked. And the learning outcome. The learning outcome, we can clearly say that students are able to converse day-to-day school situation. Apart from shall I get in, may I go to toilet. Apart from this, students are able to communicate or able to converse with the different school scenario. That learning outcome we can mark. I think this example is clear. Aim, curricular goal, competencies, learning outcomes. All this mapped the NCF-FS, NCF-SC, and NEP 2020 from learning outcome document published by NCERT and CBS. So, the aim of assessment. I think, dear educators, what do you mean by assessment? to sit beside the learner. That is the clear explanation for assessment. To sit beside the learner. So keep this point in your mind when you are talking about the assessment, to sit beside the learner. So what NEP says about the aim of assessment in the culture of our schooling system will shift from one that is summative and test rote memorization skills to one that is more regular. I already mentioned the term continuous, the regular and formative, more competency-based, promotes learning and development for our students and test high-order skills such as analyze, critical thinking, and conceptual clarity. That word conceptual clarity is also important. Nowadays, after NEP 2020 and the NCF, FS, and SC, there is no portions, only the concept. So that word is important for us. There is no portion complete. Instead of portion, the concept is there. That's why it's clearly here mentioned that conceptual clarity. The primary purpose of assessment will indeed be for learning. It will help the teacher and student and the entire schooling system continuously revise teaching learning process. It's a reflection for us also. How we are going to change, how we are going to change our, what all are the changes needed in our teaching learning process, or our pedagogical strategies, our activity mapping. What all are the changes we needed? That reflection we received through the assessment only. This will be the underlying principle for assessment at all level of education. I think it's very much clear, and NEP 2020 4.34 is very it's very clearly mentioned about the assessment. Yeah. Now we are talking about the holistic progress card. Holistic progress card provides a 360-degree multi-dimensional holistic report for the learner's progress. In the initial chat, some educators is already mentioned that 360-degree multi-dimensional. That word is already mentioned. Enables learners to take charge of their learning journey, helps develop multidisciplinary activities catering to multiple competencies and curricular goals. It helps facilitate teacher training and teacher self-reflection. When we are talking about the holistic progress card, so the foundation stage and the preparatory stage is already every school is started to using, especially the foundation stage. The NEP FS or NCF FS foundation stage already mapped 13 curricular goals and 68 competencies. Altogether, more than 100 learning outcome. Previously, it is 172. Now it's hardly 120 learning outcomes already mapped in NCF FS. First 5 years. Age 3 to 8, first 5 years, 13 curricular goals, 68 competencies, and more than 100 learning outcomes supposed to be achieved by the student of grade 2 or class 2. It's our responsibility the educator's responsibility to find out clearly what all are these 13 curricular goals, what all are the 68 competencies, what all are the 100 learning outcomes mapped by NCFFS, the NCFFS. You cannot delete anything, but if you want, you can add extra. Keep that point in your mind, because we cannot skip or edit. But we can keep pending. We can keep pending because a particular student is not able to achieve our targeted competencies. Keep pending, but you are not right to delete, or you are not right to skip that competencies. Suppose year by year, once the student is completed that particular stage, is able to able to competent, 68 competencies, able to achieve 13 curricular goals. I hope it's very much clear. I'll move forward. What does the holistic progress card involve? We all know that holistic progress card involves 3 abilities. One is awareness, second one is sensitivity, third one is creativity. Always holistic progress card highlighting these 3 abilities and 3 performance indicators, 3 performance level indicators, beginner, progressive, and proficient. The 3 level of performance in descriptors are beginner, progressive, and proficient. And rubrics for assessment. Rubrics for assessment is important for all the formative assessment also. So when we are talking about the abilities, the first ability is awareness. What do you mean by awareness? Having knowledge related to and understanding of activity or task to be conducted. Being informed about the activity and its various factors. Being able to understand the activity requirements. Being attentive, perspective, and cognizant of surroundings. It's clearly understand, I think so. So what do you mean by sensitivity? Sensitivity rubrics. Managing and expressing emotion, thoughts and behaviors in line with the social norms and relevant to the activity. For example, traffic signals, identifying the traffic signals. What do you mean by the green light refers? What do you mean by the red light referred? That social norms and relevant to the activities. Being attentive to the emotions and the need of the other needs of others during the activity when applicable. Perceiving or understanding a problem beyond logical or analytic reasoning. Approaching conflict with the empathy, understanding, and open-mindedness. Another ability is creativity. Creating innovative, original, and valuable solution to problems. Demonstrating inventiveness and original thinking flexible and exploring diverse possibilities, think out of the box. That term is here mentioned out, diverse possibilities. Think out of the box. We are using that term regularly. Possessing a sense of curiosity and a desire to explore. Looking at situation from different angles, questioning and challenging assumptions. Combining ideas, concepts, and domains. So these three abilities holistic progress card involves. Now, holistic progress card, the 3 levels of proficiency or 3 levels of proficiency. The first one is beginner level. So beginner level is indicative of the challenge faced by the student that prevents her or him from demonstrating age and grade appropriate performance in an activity. Please note that particular word. Beginners challenge to face age appropriate and grade appropriate performance in an activity. These levels suggest the requirement of additional support that will help the learner begin to make progress toward successful performance. Here we need that 3 methods: the teaching, reteaching, and the remedial teaching. Teaching, reteaching, remedial teaching. Teaching, when we mapping one pedagogical strategy or mapping one pedagogical strategy, the same is not applicable for the reteaching. Reteaching, you have to identify another pedagogical strategy. And for the remedial teaching also, you have to map another pedagogical strategies. Then only you are able to, the beginner student are able to achieve the different level like proficient or advanced or progressing or advanced. Yes. Beginner, we can take progressing or proficient. It's an indicative of potential demonstrated by a student to a successful performance in a particular activity. This level suggests that the student is showing some progress towards successful performance, but requires some support from the teacher and peers to successfully accomplish the activity. That particular student is under the category of proficient level. Now we can see the advanced or advanced level. Advanced level is indicative of successful performance in a particular activity. It suggests that the student can accomplish that capacity independently or collaboratively with no or minimal external support. So, 3 level of proficiency. Now, creating rubrics for assessment. So you have to define the competency first. I already talks about the competencies. It's already competencies very clearly mentioned in the Bloom's taxonomy and all. We can identify the competencies from the Bloom's taxonomy. The 3 things when you discuss about the competency, keep in your point in your mind. Student is able to know. The student is able to understand and the student is able to demonstrate. That is 3 level of competence. The student is able to know. The student will be able to identify, or what we can say, the student will be able to different words, you know that, and the student will be able to demonstrate. That is the 3 levels of competency. So what here you can the rubrics, when we are discussing about the rubrics, but here mentioned can be from a pre-established list such as the NCF, should focus on high order thinking skills that can be applied in more than one context, includes elements of all 3 abilities, that is awareness, sensitivity, and creativity related to the task. Create a 3-level scale of assessment for 3 performance descriptors, that is beginner, progressing, and proficient. Is relatively open-ended or both ends of the scale of accommodate a wider range of learners. When you are assessing the competency, when you are assessing the curricular goals, when you are doing any kind of formative assessment, please keep one point in your mind very clearly. Assess the process, not the product. Dear educators, when we are always focusing about the product, but the product is supported by the skilled neighbor or skilled relative or the parent. So, need not bother about the product. Our responsibility is very clearly to assess the process, the child's involvement. Hope you understand what I tried to explain. So, now we are moving to the foundation stage, HPC. HPC foundation stage deals with part A1 and part A2 and part B and part C. Part A1, we are aware that it's handling the general information. Part A2, me and my surrounding, or myself, my family, like that. Part B, progress card for each learning domains. Each learning domain, 6 learning domains are mapped in the NCF, FS. I think the educators is already clearly know that the 6 learning domains. Can you use the chat box and can you suggest the learning domains, the 6 learning domains, 5 plus 1, earlier is 5, and positive learning habit is the last one. The remaining one you have know that. I'll hear a clue. Yeah, the last one is positive learning. Can you use the chat box and say that what all are the other 5 learning domains mapped in the NCFS? Yes, ma'am.
Sindhuji says physical. Then Pooja
Correct.
Kiranji says socio-emotional and cognitive.
Socio-emotional, ethical. Secondly, social emotional, and cognitive is in the third phase. It's that mapping the domains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is orderly. That's cognitive one who related to the teaching learning process, that is in the third one. The first one, physical. The first one is physical. We cannot say that randomly. It's a clear order is there. So, dear educators, try to understand that. NCFFS is already focused the first domain, physical. The second one, socio-emotional and ethical. And the third one is cognitive. Third only cognitive. That is the difference. That's why we are calling NCFS is, or the first foundational stage is school preparedness. The schooling is not started. The school preparedness only. That's why there is no subject, only domains. Instead of subject, in the first 5 year, we are dealing with the domains, not subject. We are starting to dealing with as far as the holistic progress are concerned, we are starting to dealing with the languages, world around us, mathematics, from the grade 3 onwards. So the preparatory stage only. The foundation stage, only domains. But that domains, its order is very much important. So physical, socio-emotional and ethical, cognitive, then fourth one, ma'am.
But they've written psychomotor also, creative also, aesthetic
Okay.
and cultural. I see these only repeated. Affective, aesthetic, cultural, moral domain, somebody, socio-emotional already discussed. Then there's language and communication.
The sixth one is positive learning habits. The domains. I'll discuss these domains later point also. And these domains is clearly mapped with our Panchakosha also. We are discussing later part. Anyway, just a brainstorming, I asked that question. So part A1 is general information, part A2 is me and the surroundings, and part B is progress card for each learning domain, and part C. So here we are. Domain 1, physical development. So here that domain, curricular goals, CG1 is children develop habits that keep them healthy and safe. The competencies identified from the competencies 1.5 shows awareness of safety in movements, walking, running, cycling, and acts appropriately. And the teacher is already identified one activity for the 50 minutes class or 45 minutes class. These activities and this classroom transaction clearly focus the Panchapadi learning method, Panchapadi teaching learning method. The 5 steps of learning, Panchapadi. It's not Panchadi. There is a typographic error in NEP, Panchari. There is no such word. There is no Panchari. It's very clearly mentioned Panchapadi. Padi means Padi in Sanskrit, 5 learning steps, Panchapadi. So the teacher is marked one activity to achieve this curricular goal, so achieve the competencies as per the Panchapadi teaching learning method. So the activity for the first 5 minutes, as you all know that what you mean by the Panchapadi teaching learning process. The first Panchapadi, the first step is introduction or connecting to the prior knowledge. Am I correct? Connecting to the prior knowledge and introduction. Then conceptual understanding, then expansion. That is the Panchapadi method. Panchapadi is different topic. I am not dealing with the Panchapadi today. I am not discussing with Panchapadi today. So according to the Panchapadi method, the 45 minutes or 50 minutes, here it is 50 minutes. Like first one is introduction or first 5 minutes is teacher is using for connecting previous knowledge. Second, then 10 minutes is for the conceptual understanding. The third one is 5 minutes. Third 5 minutes is using for the expansion, and the last 10 minutes is using for the connecting to the real life situation. Connecting to the real life situation, it is in a different way. Okay. Then assessment questions. You have to explain how to make Panchapadi lesson plan or how to make the assessment for achieving CG, curricular goals, achieving competencies. You are supposed to use this kind of activity or supposed to use this kind of methodology. So assessment questions. our curricular goal is, again, we are discussing what is our curricular and domain number 1, physical domain. Our curricular goal is children develop habits that keep them healthy and safe. Our competency shows awareness of safety in movements, walking, running, cycling, and acts appropriately. Here comes the assessment question. Question number 1, what is the zebra crossing mean for? Should you honk while driving by a hospital? Recognizing the different traffic signs given on your worksheet. These are some assessment questions, examples for that. So here comes the assessment rubrics. Assessment rubrics, 3 level. Here it is stream, mountain, and sky. You can refer the pictorial representation, that is river or lake, mountain, and sky. Any different or flower, emojis, smileys, everything, anything can be used. But 3 levels: stream, mountain, sky, and 3 abilities: awareness, sensitivity, and creativity. So under the stream or the beginner, when we are discussing about the term beginner, when we are discussing about the rubrics, cannot recognize traffic lights or zebra crossing and struggle to answer related questions. The particular student is beginner category. What is the progressing or the mountain? Follow others, lead, partially recognize traffic signals, partially recognizing traffic signals, and zebra crossing, and answers some questions. Correct. Not full. So the provision or advanced learner, independently recognizing traffic signals and zebra crossing, and correctly answers all related questions. This is the assessment rubrics. Now, I am directly moving from the FS to foundation stage to preparatory stage. Here comes the preparatory stage. Here comes part A1, general information. Part A2, all about me. Part A3, how I feel at school. Part A3, peer feedback. Part A3, your child matters. And part B, progress card for each learning subject. In the holistic progress card, foundational stage, part B is progress card of learning domains. Now here it is learning subject. That is different. Part B is only from class 3 onwards we are discussing about the subject. Up to grade 2 we are discussing about the domains only, the learning standards, domain only. Here it is the learning standard very clearly mentioned about the learning subject. And part C is the summary of the academic year. And as we know that the preparatory stage, the subject also changed. As per the NEP 2020, EVS is changed, and now there is no EVS. It is world around us. And arts, physical education, drama, music are compulsory subjects. It's up to secondary level of also. It's NCRF, National Curriculum Framework also. All these subject is mapped till grade 10. That discussion, that research is going on. Hopefully, we all are the pilot school of NCRF. The board is hopefully doing some initiative in next academic year. Last year, they started to do it. So here it is. English fun with the friends. The activity chosen is picture reading. The curricular goal, develop oral language skill using complex sentence structure to understand and communicate ideas coherently. This is for grade 3, I think so. Competency, learners will be able to converse fluently and meaningfully in different contexts. So activity here mentioned. Again, the Panchapadi activity, Panchapadi teaching learning strategy used. Then assessment question. Then assessment rubrics. So this part I hopefully clear. I am skipping all this middle and the secondary when we are talking about the FS and preparatory today only. let's recap how many HPCs are there. Today, we talked about two HPCs, holistic progress card foundation stage, holistic progress card preparatory stage. But altogether, how many holistic progress card is there?
Sir, Sajita ji, Sindhu ji, and Shiba ji all are saying it's 4.
Correct. Holistic progress card first, holistic progress card preparatory, HPC middle, and HPC secondary. What are 3 abilities? Please.
Depends 3 abilities.
3 abilities. Dear educators, use your chat box and respond quickly.
So I get awareness there. And Neetu Joshi ji and Anshu ji, when they have written sensitivity, awareness, sensitivity, and creativity.
Okay, thank you. What are the 3 performance level of descriptors? Performance level
There's
of
reading, writing, creativity.
What are the 3 performance level indicators?
Now somebody has started giving one. Somebody is saying beginner. Okay, some are still doing abilities only. Okay, I can see beginner, proficient,
Advanced.
proficient.
Beginner, progressing, advanced, or beginner, proficient, advanced. Okay. How are part A and part B is different? Our part A and part B is different. Part A is discussing about all about ourselves, myself, all about myself, general information, my family, my informations. And part B is dealing with in HBC foundation stage. Part B is dealing with the learning domains, the 6 learning domains, and the 13 curricular goals, and the 68 competencies, and more than 100 of learning outcomes. And in preparatory stage, part B is dealing with the dealing with the learning subject, dealing with the learning subject. Okay. So, now, please, you listen up to the stage 2 preparatory only. The curricular structure, play-based and activity-based learning. Foundational literacy, numeracy, and socio-emotional development. That is content. Assessment, observational and anecdotal records or no formal test. Classroom arrangements, flexible, interactive spaces with learning corners. That is why in NCFFS, the timetable is given. The timetable, one term is used. One class hours is mentioned in the model timetable, circle time. What do you mean by circle time? The circle time, that's why we need a classroom, or we need a flexible infra, forming a circle, movable furniture. It's important. That's why classroom arrangements is important. And the role of a teacher, facilitator of inquiry and play. In preparatory stage, explore and experimentation across subject, languages, mathematics, and environmental science. Environmental science means well around us. Activity-based learning, emphasis on critical thinking. Assessment, formative assessment, focusing on conceptual understanding. But here, dear educators, in preparatory stage, you can use some summative activities. You can use some, but minimal pen and paper test summative activities. So classroom arrangements, interacting, engaging environments, group work spaces. Role of a teacher, guiding, collaborative, and project-based learning. I think this structure is very, very clear. Each stage, each curricular structure, content, pedagogy, assessment, classroom arrangements, role of a teacher is clearly mapped and mentioned. This I already discussed. In a random way. I'm moving to some keywords used in the NCFFS and NEP in both stages. Foundation stage, early childhood care and education, we already mentioned. Socio-emotional ethical development and the development of Panchakosha. What do you mean the Panchakosha? The Panchakosha, first one is Annamaya Kosha, the second one is Pranamaya Kosha, third one is Manomaya Kosha, and the fourth one is Vijnanamaya Kosha, and the fifth one is Anandamaya Kosha. Dear educators, it's our tradition, the tradition of Bharat, the Anandamaya Kosha, the last one. There is no other culture that concept is there. The Anandamaya Kosha, the last level, Anandamaya Kosha. We can convert this Sanskrit word to the English term, Annamaya Kosha. It means physical development. Physical development. Pranamaya Kosha, something related to respiratory system. Manomaya Kosha, mental and emotional. Vijnanamaya Kosha, or cognitive, education, cognitive. Anandamaya Kosha, that is the something different. Anandamaya Kosha, the happy, bliss, the joyful learning, the stress-free education system, the stress-free campus. This word is not simply used, it's clearly mapped with the Panchakosha. We all know that 5 sensory organs, our 5 sensory organs, is directly related to the Panchakosha. And Panchapadi, I mentioned, the 5 teaching learning pedagogic method, the 5 steps of teaching learning method, Panchapadi, Panchakosha, 5 sensory organs. All these deals to the holistic development of a child, not the A1 grade, not the 100 out of 100. The holistic development of child. So we cannot say that all these Sanskrit where we are not using. Whether you are using English word or Sanskrit word, dear education, we have to clear understanding about the concept. What do you mean by Anandamaya Kosha? The bliss, the happy, the final stage. So here are the some key words used in the FS, Foundation Literacy and Numeracy. FLN, Foundational Literacy and Numeracy. Under Nibun Bharat mission, as you know that, it's already mapped from the 3rd grade students achieving basic reading, writing skills and basic operation of mathematics up to completely get a basic idea about LSRW and completely get a clear idea about the 4 basic operation from grade 3 by end of 2026. That is the target of FLM mission. That is the target of FLM mission. After COVID, many students are lacking this foundation key knowledge, reading, writing. Many preschool students or many grade 1 or 2 students are only assumption reading only. We know that. We the educators know that. But when we are asked to read in between, they are confusing. That's why central government initiated a mission under the Nibun Bharat mission, that is Foundation Literacy and Numeracy. By end of 2026, all the grade 3 students of our nation is able to achieve reading, writing competencies or reading, writing skills and for basic mathematics operation. That is that. What all are the 4 basic mathematics operations, my dear educators? 4 basic mathematics operations.
Dear educators, yes, addition.
Addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. Okay, fine. So, I think it's clear. Preparatory stage, the key word used in the NCF-SC, interdisciplinary exploration, vocational education, activity and discovery based pedagogy, periodic and summative assessment, frequent formative assessment. Periodic summative assessment also included here. Shall we move forward? Yeah. What is an assessment framework? An assessment framework is a detailed description about an assessment intended to measure, include the range of content and skill or competencies to be assessed. The framework includes the outline of the learning domains. Learning domains here in the preparatory stages. Learning domains is the preparatory stages. Subjects. Learning domains is the subject. For example, language assessment is example reading comprehension. It includes a specific learning outcome and key competencies. So, here it is example of a assessment framework is inspired by the SAFL framework. The domain, the fundamental concept areas. Example, number operation. Stand here is the critical component skills in a particular domain, the whole number. Competency mapped here is specific substance or key knowledge and or skill proposed under each strand. Addition. Here it is addition. And grade 3, proficiency level. The student is able to demonstrate skills and competencies through learning outcomes fit for grade 3. And grade 4, the student is able to demonstrate skills and competencies through learning outcomes fit for grade 4. I mentioned learning outcome is yearly. It means class-wise. Learning outcome is class-wise. Our competencies and CG is the stage-wise. Here it is learning outcomes is mapped to the class-wise. From grade 3, from the NCERT learning outcome manual, you can identify what is the learning outcome of numeracy or what is the learning outcome of the mathematics is mapped for particular concept. The numeracy chapter or the numeracy, what is the learning outcome mapped? Maybe the learning outcome matter, the child is able to do all the addition up to 100. Example, 100. So, in the fourth grade, it is different maybe. Maybe it is 200. Likewise. Domain, stand, competencies, proficiency level. So, yeah. It is another version of a holistic progress card rubrics we can use for the class 1 to 10 for the subject or written examination, summative examination. We are already discussed about the domain competencies and the learning outcomes. Here, written exam and marks parameter 4. If the student is scores less than 35%, it is under stream category or the beginner category. The student is scored 35% to 60% is the progressing, the mountain category. The student is scoring 60 to 100% is the sky category. That also we can clearly get it from here, holistic progress card rubrics. Here, it is also important for us. How can, when we are using the assessment, the mark system or grade system, when we convert it to the holistic progress card, 3 different level of proficiency. This is the criteria. Up to 35% beginner level, 35 to 60% the progressing or mountain level, 60 to 100% advanced or sky level. Clear? Here it is attendance less than 75% beginner level, 75 to 90% progressing level, 90 to 100%. Hope you understand. Likewise, reading ability is there, writing ability is there, speeches and elocution is. I am not going to read all these things, but it's already there. Okay. It's an example how it is related to mark and proficiency level. So, now decoding the competencies and learning outcome, I am just speedily covering this. We are already discussed about the domains, curricular goals, competencies, and learning outcomes. And the domains are here. The first domain, physical development, socio-emotional and ethical development, cognitive development, language and literacy development, aesthetic and cultural development, positive learning habits. These are the 6 domains. Dear educators, you suggested different domains. I also agreed that all are correct, but NCF has clearly mentioned domains is first one is physical, socio-emotional and ethical, cognitive, language and literacy, aesthetic and cultural development, and positive learning habits. So this I already explained what you mean by domain and what you mean by competency. What children will know, what children will able to do, and what children able to demonstrate. This is competencies. And curricular goals, it's already mapped to the National Curriculum Framework. All the curricular goals is mapped. What you mean the learning outcome? I already mentioned the document is available, learning outcome documents. So here is another example. CG, curricular goals. Children develop effective communication skills for day-to-day interaction of two language. Competencies, converse fluently and can hold a meaningful conversation. Learning outcome, initiate conversation in a daily life with the peers and teachers in a variety of school settings. Clear? I hope it's understood. So, under 6 domains, 13 curricular goals is marked. The list of 13 curricular goals clearly mentioned. You can take a screenshot or you can refer NCFS. What all are the curricular goals marked under 6 domains? So, this is the first 5 years. Under the 6 domains, the competencies and the learning outcome marked yearly. So from the age 3 to 4, 16 competencies and 31 learning outcomes marked under physical development domain. 7 competencies and 12 learning outcomes marked under socio-ethical development. 16 competencies and 34 learning outcome marked cognitive under cognitive domain. Again, language development, first 3 to 4 year, 12 competencies and 20 learning outcome. It's our role, it's our responsibility, each and every teacher handling with this stage to clear idea about the aims of education and clear idea about the curricular goals and clear idea about the competencies and learning outcomes. Without knowing all this, how the teacher is going to handle our foundational age students without knowing all these things, without go through an NCF FS, without going go through NEP, without knowing the learning outcome document, without knowing the competencies, how we are able to deal with our classes? That is a big question. So, dear educators, those who are attending this session, those who are knowing all these things, please do share with our fellow educators, encourage them to go through all these documents and ask them to implement next academic year also. Next academic year is a vibrant academic year as far as considering NEP 2020, because 25-26, by the end of 2030, the whole nation is implementing complete phase of NEP. So every year is important. Please keep this point in your mind. Yearly competencies, yearly learning outcomes, the curricular goals. Hope you understand. My point is very clear and clarified. I think so. These all are all the blah blahs about what is holistic progress card. I'm not going to tell about, you know that. You all are very much aware of that. But we are just seeing that the prototype. Now the prototype. The sections of the prototype for HPCFs. All about me, a glimpse about myself, checklist and observations of competencies, learners profile by the teachers, parents' feedback, self-assessment and peer assessment, learners' portfolio. So, the first one, all about me. This is the one prototype already issued by the NCERT and PARAKH. Here it is, students can, with the help of the teachers, especially the foundation stage, with the support of the teachers, students can draw a glimpse of my family. They can paste a family photograph, group photo, or family tree they can draw, or write 2, 3 where my family consists of, like with the help of the teacher, and draw out myself. It may be image, it may be a sketch, outline sketch. Anything is possible. That flexibility is there. So here it is section 2, learners profile by the teacher, parent feedback, and our checklist and observation. Curricular goals, our checklist and observation. The prototype is. So here it is in the prototype, parent feedback. Only 3 or 4 questions included. You can change. The teachers can feel free to change the parents' feedback question. You can get the parents' feedback from PTMA or for a telephonic call or a personal visit to particular students for a house, or ask them to visit you. Don't wait for the PTMA, a personal visit or interaction. So some model questions added here for the parents' feedback. My child enjoys participating in. Yeah, it's easy to a parent to. My child is enjoys participating in football. My child is enjoys participating in dance. The parents can say. The second question suggested here. My child can be supported for. Teacher, my student is good in sociability skills. Please to promote some leadership quality, that skill. A parent can easily say that. Am I correct? And the third question suggested here, I would also like to share. I would also like to share that something that, but the thing is that when we are talking about the report card, previously we are using one word, progress card. That term always keep in your mind. It should be progressive, in the positive. The holistic report card also positive and progressive. So don't be any negative. I would like to share that my kid is a single parent or a single child. Like that, no. It's some positive habits or positive skills. The last question, have I complete age-appropriate vaccine? Is it a Herculean task, my dear teacher? Get all these parents' feedback? Or is it a Herculean task to complete the part A 1 and part A 2? Or if teacher or the school can a clear-cut idea about the curricular goals, competencies, and learning outcome, they can easily map the activities for achieving all this. And it's a year-long process and formative and continuous. Then they are very easily can deal with the HBC. You cannot start HBC work at the end of March. You can start working now. The planning should be happen now, and the implementation start to happen the day one. Then only you are able to complete all this process. I hope you understand. And now the learner's portfolio, the best works done by the learner. The best work done by the outstanding works done by the learner. The peer assessment. The peer assessment also, the term 1 and 2, select a particular, for example, call one student in my class, Rohit, as a class teacher. I'm calling Rohit. Yeah, Bacho, my dear Rohit, come here. Who is your best friend? Ameya is my best friend, a teacher. Oh, okay. Ameya is your best friend. No, okay. Okay, Rohit, back to your seat and then call Ameya. Ameya, is it Rohit helps in completing tasks or activity? That question a facilitator, a teacher can ask. Then Ameya, Rohit is always supporting me to completing homework or activities shared by the school. The second question, Ameya, is it Rohit is like to play with others or play with you? Some students are, when you are observing, when you are giving the PT period or drill period, some students are not interested to go to ground. They are simply roaming in the veranda or sitting under the tree, or simply they are skipping physical activities. So here it is, we can clearly mark. And the third question, the caring and sharing. Share stationery, crayons and glue or chalk or box, something. The facilitator can support and get the peer assessment done. Hope you understand what you mean by the peer assessment. Here it is, beginner, progressing, and provision. That three level of indicators. So, role of a principal and teachers, I already mentioned. Ongoing in foundational stage, periodical aggregate, summarize analyzers. You can use the ICT tools for holistic progress curve. Many companies are now offering ICT tools and all. So the preparatory stages progress card, when you are first you are mapping the curricular goals, second competencies, again that Panchapati method, the assessment, teachers feedback. I'll show the exemplar, then you can get a clear idea, like the foundation stage. In different subject, different Panchapati method lesson plan I included, assessment activities included for a detailed section. It's a 1 hour online session. I am not able to tell all these things. That way I am skipping and I am directly moving to one example only. Yeah, this one. For example, preparatory stage grade 4, the learning standard. The subject is physical education, mapping the curricular goals, identifying the competencies, identifying the activities. So here it is, physical education, I am integrating with the R1 and R2. I think the educators, you have a clear cut idea about R1 and R2. R1 means mother tongue, R2 means any Indian language other than mother tongue. R1 is mother tongue, R2 is any Indian language other than mother tongue, R1 and R2. I am integrating physical education through R1 and R2. Then assessment rubrics, then teachers feedback under 3 abilities, 3 provision tools, learner's profile, mapped self-assessment, that is mildly used like that. So when we are discussing about the foundation stage, achieving curricular goals, achieving learning outcomes, achieving competencies, I already mentioned there is no portion and only the concepts. This conceptual understanding, when we are dealing the pedagogical strategy as a play-based or activity-based method, where we get these activities to achieving all these Annamaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha or the Panchakosha, or the where we get. So here the NCERT is already issued a document called Anand, Activity Book for Balabaliga. Many activities is mapped here. Another book is published by NCERT is Unmukh, that is Trainees Handbook for Balabaliga. Trainees Handbook for Balabaliga. Anand and Unmukh. And Unmukh is the Trainees Handbook for Balabaliga, and Unmukh is dealing with the Unmukh Part 1, Curricular and Pedagogy for the Balabaliga, but Introduction to Balabaliga, Understanding the Learner, Methods and Materials, Planning and Organizing Learning Activity, Role of Teacher, Parent, Caregivers and Community is mentioned. And Part 2, Suggestive Activities for Panchakosha Vikas, is clearly suggested or marked the teacher's manual Unmukh. Just those the educators already go to the Unmukh, just put your thumbs emoji in our chat box. Those who are. So without knowing Unmukh, we cannot go for the holistic progress curve. Without knowing Unmukh, we cannot go for the assessment. Without you going knowing the Unmukh or Anand, we cannot conduct the activities. The best and good activities, every teacher can identify. But these are some examples, some guidelines only. The Unmukh Part 2, suggested activities for Panchakosha Vikas is clearly mentioned. Annamaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha, that is physical and motor development. Manomaya Kosha, social, emotional and ethical development. Vijnayamaya Kosha, community development. Anandamaya Kosha, creative and aesthetic development and developing positive learning habits. So, thank you, dear educators. And now you can show your question and answers. Over to the panel, dear team, Dr. Rashmi Dua and Salam Sir, Biju Sir. Over to you. Back to the panel.
Sir, before I move to the audience questions, I would like to just thank you for such an enriching and insightful session. Because what I saw was, in this time only, you want to give as much as you can. And again, you reiterated on one thing, that it has to be positive. The feedback has to be positive. And our enthusiastic participants, they are also not stopping. So I can see many giving thumbs up for that question when you asked that how many of them are aware of. So they are aware. I think they were so mesmerized.
great.
They were first into that. So coming up to one question first, sir. This is a question from Sindhuji. She had written in the chat. Do we need to follow the same, that is the domain thing, with progression from KG to grade 2? So this is regarding...
With regards to the domains identified the foundation stage, we cannot change. It's strictly followed. The domains we are strictly followed.
Okay, then is further the question is for 1 and 2 classes, do we have subjects or we will go with domains?
So foundation stage is mapped only phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 2, NCERT textbook is available, subject is there.
Thank you so much, sir. Participants, any more questions? In case you want to directly interact, please just raise your virtual hand so that we can come to you. Dear participants, for your questions, please raise virtual hands. Sir,
they can type in the chat box their questions.
Sir, yes, I'm waiting for that. There were only 2 questions, so that I've asked. Participants, please text your questions. Just write them in the chat box so that we can pick from there. There's a lot of appreciation for you, sir. Okay, Sarima Devi ji, and one more person has raised hands. Sarima Devi ji, we're just requesting you to unmute. Are you able to see that on your screen?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Good evening, Ranjit, sir.
Good evening. Tell me, ma'am.
So, sir, actually, the foundational HPC, we have already started. We have implemented that. Now we are working on the preparatory HPC. So actually, it's having 32 pages. So, sir, is it mandatory that we must have all these pages, or can we customize it?
You can customize, ma'am. You can.
Yeah.
Every school can customize. There is not only prototype is issued by PARAKH or NCERT or CBSE. Only prototype. It's a suggested guidelines only. The school can modify. The school can add or delete. It's all up to you, ma'am.
Okay,
that freedom is very clearly given by the board.
Okay. Thank you so much.
The domain should remain the same.
Yeah, that I clearly mentioned, sir. The domain should remain same. The learning standards should remain same. But the pages, the style, the format, everything you can think. And some schools are focusing learning outcome only. I seen some prototype of certain schools. They are focusing the learning outcome only, because learning outcome clearly mapped, that easily assessed. That's why they are not thinking about the competencies. Once a student is achieving a learning outcome, he or she may indirectly achieving the competency also.
The learning outcome is the output, sir, not the process.
Yes, not the process at all. But some school, I explained that some schools are only using the learning outcome. They are not using other things.
Yeah,
the school is able to do modification. It's allowed. It's board already given permission.
And Ranjit sir, one more question. What about the exams in first and second standard? Do we have to conduct like summative exams? Formative, it's fine because it goes hand in hand. But what about the summative exams?
Ma'am, the policy document suggested that there is no examination. Exams start from grade 3 only. The school preparedness year, there is no exam, only formative. But you know that. In our social scenario, the present situation, grade 1 and 2 need summative exam. Some sort of summative examination or periodic exam is needed, ma'am.
Okay.
But the policy document never recommend that summative examination.
That's why I was a bit doubtful. So
no. The school that area also school can liberty, but the minimal. Keep that point in your mind.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir.
So we have Deepika Devraji. Deepika ji, you can ask your question. Please check your screen and click that button which says okay. You are requested to unmute yourself.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
My question is that first time we introduced HPC in our school, but most of the parents were not satisfied and don't want to understand. So how can we make them satisfied and explain them to understand the HPC's quality and understanding of the things? So this is very confusing for me. How can I convince the parent?
You can use the different strategies, ma'am, but it's a Herculean task. I know that. Because our young parents thinking that the students are studying in the IITs. That is the real situation we are facing as the school leaders. When we are always talking about so many things, but the reality is different, as we all know that. It's a real challenge. You conduct workshop for parents. And the second thing, get involved. Parents should be involved. Once it is parents' involvement is there, 90% of issues solved. For example, the parent-teacher meeting. The parent-teacher meeting, you can map or you can design in a different way. I observed some schools in Kerala, their parent-teacher meeting is not showing any progress card or report card. Once it is parents-teacher meeting, there may be a food exhibition that is involved by students, and the performance by the student is there. The students are dealing such kind of things. Once the parent is observing that my child is doing some best things, my child is performing well, they are happy. So once they are happy with these kind of things, they are never bothered about the maths mark. They are never bothered about the science marks. So first one, educating parents. Second one, get involvement through these kind of parent-student activities. Then it should take time. Be patient and try to convince them. These are the changes happen across the world, not in this school. These changes are the need of the hour. These activities also continues. You done a parents activity once, then you don't believe that the parents are convinced. Continuously advise parents, continuously encourage parents. Then only you are able to change their attitude. It should take time, ma'am. Don't worry. We all are with you. It's a common scenario.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir.
Very
Thank you.
rightly said, sir, that it has to be persistence because your actions, parents are parents and they might feel, but it's good. The initiative is also good because it talks about positivity. And one thing which I see, the educators, they're also keen. I think they are wanting now one training on the report card being produced here only so that they
Yes.
can take out how to actually frame the report card.
Because they are not satisfied. They want to see only marks. Ma'am, tell me the marks. Now, all things is good, but see the
Yeah,
emojis.
for that, I can suggest one thing. In initial year, you can add one page for the marks also. Don't avoid marks completely. In a pilot year, when you are moving to a HPC, the pilot year, please, along with the curricular goals and competencies, along with all other HPC aspects, include one page for mark also. Then slowly change. No sudden change is possible. You know that.
Yes, understand. Yes, sir. Definitely. I suggest it to my school management this thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Are there any more questions? We are just waiting for you participants. Sir, I don't see any hand raise or any text in the chat.
Yeah, we can wait.
That's great. I also expected.
So thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you.
Your real-world experiences and deep understanding have certainly opened new dimensions for us as educators. We are really deeply grateful for your time, your humility, and your passion for empowering teachers. So, I would now conclude this powerful learning experience. But before that, just a gentle reminder to all the participants. Please note that you can log into www.b-tag.in to download your certificate. Salam sir has posted the link also. You can save that link in case you are struggling. Okay. So as we conclude this powerful learning experience, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Salam and Pillai sir for their inspiring leadership, Rajneet sir for your masterful and generous sharing of knowledge, and to each one of you, dear participants. Thank you. Thank you so much for your attention, curiosity, and commitment to growth. Your involvement inspires us to organize many more exciting sessions. We look forward to seeing you at our next featuring another distinguished resource person. Let's continue to empower our students, not just academically, but holistically, because their future deserves nothing less. Thank you once again. Stay inspired, stay impactful. Over to you, Salam sir.
Thank you all. Before moving to Salam sir, thank you all. It's my happy to be part of Team Extra Mile. Again, wonderful educators. Thank you all. And over to you, Salam sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. It's a strenuous task, we know, and you could do it, as we have expected. But a lot more is there to go. We can understand because within 1 hour or 1 hour and 15 minutes, it's not possible to explain everything. It's every educator's responsibility to go through Unmukh and PARAKH and the documents released by CBSE. Then only they can have very good planning and implementation of holistic progress card or holistic to assess the progress of students in a very 360 degree way. So thank you so much, Ranjit sir. Ranjit sir, we have conducted this session for school in Saudi Arabia, followed by this session. So thank you so much, Dr. Rashmi. Dr. Rashmi, thank you so much. You are a model for the moderators as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Very graceful, yeah, very professional. Thank you for your time preparing and all. So it's for helping us, throughout.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to at least come and learn. It's not
Yeah,
about
you're welcome.
interacting, it's about learning also. Thank you so
welcome.
much for that.
Yeah, our mission is
Yeah.
to bring all the educators to the limelight, to the front line. So that's why empowering educators, that is the mission of Extra Mile Education and Training. So thank you all participants for your valuable time you have spent with us 1.5 hours. Hope you will be going through the documents. You'll be spending some time to implement it in the way NEP demands. So thank you so much once again. Have a good night, Ranjit sir and Dr. Lakshmi, Biju sir, and all. Good night.
Good night to all. Good night.
Thank you again. Thank you once again.